I'm gonna wait a few minutes, let some people get in here, and then we're gonna get started. So I don't want to go crazy going over details and stuff. That way, if I get a bunch of questions, I don't have to go back. I'm gonna shut my door and pull up the chat. It's going to be early for a lot of people. What's up, Wyatt the pilot? Miss Maintenance just went walking. I've got a few minutes, and I picked up a new tool today from Klein at Lowe's and a new Monster drink on my way home that I haven't seen yet. And we've talked about Monsters a few times and different people in here. So I'm going to do a live review. We're going to do a live review of this. Pick this up at home or at Lowe's today. It's always hard to get this side to zoom in. 32561 HDRT 7-in-1 ratcheting impact rated stubby screwdriver nut driver. So it's a new ratcheting stubby that Klein came out with. Got that. Also picked up the Monster, and I've already tried one of these, so that's why in my title I've got one of these two things is not good. I've opened this too. I've kind of looked at it a little bit. I'm going to show you guys. And then the Monster Ultra Vice Guava. I don't know if any of y'all have tried this one. I just picked it up. I've already tried it, so I know what it tastes like. So again, one of these two things, I've opened this package. I've played with it a little bit. I just got it today. And then I've also drunk one of these. And one of these two things is not good. And you're going to find out which one that is. What's up, Terry Burton? Got the giveaway. Appreciate it, he said. Glad you got it. I think most everybody's probably got it by now, except for maybe Rob Holland. Of course, he's over in the overseas. Wyatt the pilot, another. Holy moly, that's a lot of Klein. That driver looks great. Gusty said, you got it, the stubby. Yeah, I picked one up today. I picked one up this morning. I was working in another town, and I went to their Lowe's, and they had it there. They had a lot of Connect sets, too, that mine didn't have. So, Monster Ultra Vice Guava. I don't know if any of y'all tried that one or not yet. It is a zero sugar one. That's pretty much the only ones I get. And again, I don't drink these for energy. I just like the taste of them. But this one to me is kind of like the went down the wrong tube. It's kind of a mix between. I don't know if y'all have had the one that is like red and blue. It's some kind of new. I forgot what the flavor of that one is. It's some kind of new flavor. It's kind of like they mix the white and that one together. That's kind of what this one right here is to me. So it's kind of more in that white taste, but then it tastes like it's got a little bit of the red blue color mixed in with it. Let's see. What's up, Jeremy? Doing pretty well. Wyatt the pilot said, well, because you've already had that Monster, I'm assuming the stubby is the not great item. I'm going to show you a problem that I've got with mine, and I'm hoping that it's not a problem with all of them. So I'm going to show you that on the stubby. I actually like this one, though. So if you haven't had this one, yeah, it does match that shirt, doesn't it? Kind of just blends in. That was accidental. If you like the white ones, I think you'll like this one. That one went down the wrong tube altogether, though. So don't take my coughing whenever I took a sip of it, a thing on it. Where did you buy the tool? I picked it up at Lowe's. Please don't track me, Morgan. Well, if its Monster drink isn't good, at least it matches your t-shirt. Tony Del Grego, hi from Connecticut. The stubby is really small, and hi, it does match his shirt. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to swap you over here to the workbench, and we'll take a look at this. So what's up, Jose? Jose Gomez, you're not too late. We just started. So again, this one to me, pretty good. If you like the white ones, I think you'll like this one. It's a little bit sweeter white. So I'm going to go ahead and swap you over. I'm going to actually put you on this tripod deal. So bear with me just a second. That way I can zoom out a little bit more. Wyatt just said something. Let's see what he said. White got the 27-in-1 security multi-driver. Worked great for a year. Then the entire bit holder in the shaft snapped off. Yeah, that's on sale right now. I actually just saw that on sale this morning. So let's get this out. So here is the Grape Drink Monster is the one. Yeah, I like those okay. My favorite one is the green, and then probably white. This one's pretty good though. What the heck, you distracted me with the work with me video, and I almost missed this, LOL. Yeah, I just posted that one. So this one is the 7-in-1 Ratcheting Impact Stubby Screwdriver Nut Driver. Again, there's the part number 32561HDRT. Impact rated bits. You get a Phillips 1, Phillips 2, 3/16 quarter, and then nut drivers you get a 1/4 inch, a 5/16, and then it's 1/2 inch inside of this down in here. So let's see, forward, reverse, and fixed. And here's the back of the package. See if there's anything real fancy on there that y'all need to know. What's up, Brian Hall? Let's see, made in Taiwan. And then I scanned the barcode. I'll put a link in the description, but it's the same as everything else that I've been scanning. It will let me pull it up based on the barcode, but it won't let me, you know, you can't buy it like online yet, so until it's available. So you essentially have ratcheting. This one's the same way as most screwdrivers in that you turn the knob that way, and that's going to allow you to actually drive and reverse. And you know, somebody, I think it was Brian that actually sent me this, but I watched it a little while back, saying how I don't really prefer this. I like my Vera one better, which I should have got it out, whereas you turn the knob that way and you put the screw in that way. But he said the purpose really behind this being this way is so that whenever you go and you turn this, let's see, how was it he said? Let's see. I'm trying to remember how it went, Brian. So I think if you turn this way while you're putting this way, it makes it to where, let's see. Yeah. It's intended to basically, whichever way you want to go, you put your thumb on that, and then while I'm doing that, if I do that, it turns that the right way, and then I can let go, and it's going to start doing the reverse. So that's the intention behind this actually being backwards, in my opinion. But so like if I wanted to go forward right now, it's in ratcheting, but if I grabbed a hold of that, I'm wanting to put the screw in, and I turn that, it's going to move that, and then if I let go of that, now that's the way that it's actually going. So that's the way it's supposed to work, I guess. Here's the back side of it. Impact Stubby Ratchet. I really like all the Klein, like the 11-in-1s and stuff, where they have it in this yellow on the top instead of being this yellow color with white. This does rub off eventually, but I do like the way that looks better. So you got 1/4 inch right there. This one pulls out. I actually don't even, I'm assuming you can put this in your impact. Looks a little bit different, you know, whenever you compare that, but it's still pretty similar. So then you can take, but that's got a ton of play in that. So I don't know if they intend for you to put that in your impact or not, but I mean, you can. So that's another kind of downer to me, in my opinion, versus here's the 8-in-1 stubby, which this is technically, I've made it the 12-in-1 or whatever. So this one, you know, it's got this flip socket shaft. So I can take and put that one in there, you know. I guess that's still got quite a bit of play too. So I don't think that's much difference, just this other one's so short. I don't guess I've ever paid attention to that, but that seems like that's got a lot to me. So just take that in consideration. And then on this side here, you've got the 1/4 inch. Again, that's not going to be magnetic. And then this side here, you've got a small Phillips number 1. See if I can get that. And then also that slotted. Fits down inside of there. This is basically like your Impact 11-in-1. And you can probably see my markings right here. That's going to explain to you what my problem is with this one, so you guys can let me know if it's a problem on yours. I know Gus the Onkers picked this up, so this just fits inside of there. But if I push that down in there, which actually whenever I got this out of the package, I could not get this out to save my life. And then I thought, well, I wonder if it's got to be, you know, because you got the reverse, you got forward, and then you got that fixed. And I was like, well, maybe it's got to be in a certain position to come out or something like that. But I mean, I could not get it out to save my life. And ultimately what I've got to do is I've got to kind of put my weight out here and flex this down and pull out at the same time. It's like there's something, I don't know if it's something wrong with this one, but I could not get this out hardly to save my life. I had to get the Cobras on it and the whole 9 yards. I've got them sitting out here just in case I had to do it again. I could not get this to pull out. Finally got it out. So on this side, you've got another slotted and a Phillips. So you got the smaller slotted and the bigger Phillips on this side in the 5/16. And again, these are just nut drivers. They're not magnetic nut drivers or anything like that. And then this is the same thing. And of course, they always come in, you know, really oily. Same thing on this one. And again, just fits inside of here. But watch, I'll put this in. You got two little marks right here. 1, 2. If you put it into that first mark and kind of leave it there, it doesn't have a lot of wobble, and you can just pull it right in and out, like if you just pull it into that first one. But if you push it down to that next one, you might hear it click here. Well, let me see. Let me see if I can get it to even click. Put it in this way. One of these two, it goes in, and I mean really snaps. Yeah, you hear that click right there. Maybe you heard that, I don't know. But it's all, I mean, it's all you can do to get this thing out of there. And I've been working on it for a while. Like I said, you almost got to kind of grab it and pull up on it or down on it like that. Put it like an angle and then pull. And even then, it's still, I mean, I'm hoping that it's just this one. Gusty, you can let me know. I know you picked this up. I don't know if yours was super tight like this or what, but it's almost like pulling a tooth out every time. And it's that way on both sides on mine. Like even if I put this 5/16 in, you can get that, again, you get to that first groove. If you just push it in that far, it's not too bad. But soon as you push it in on a fastener or something or other, it's going to snap in some more and go on in past that. See right there? And then once I get to that one, it comes out okay there. Let's see. That side seems to be coming out a little better now. Yeah, see, that time I heard it snapping there real good. It's starting to work free, but man, I mean, I honestly, whenever I got it out, I'm like, I've got to be doing something wrong. I thought I was going to break something. I thought this had to be turned a certain way or whatever. I couldn't get it out for nothing. I got the twin grips out. I got Cobras out. You can see all the scratch marks on it. And like right there, even getting that one in, it doesn't want to go in all the way. Almost like this maybe it's not in all the way. Let's see. There you go. Maybe you heard that click that time. And I won't be able to get that out. I know I won't. So I'm going to try taking this one back tomorrow and get another one, or actually Friday, I guess, because I'm not working in that. I ended up getting this in a town that wasn't my normal town, but I'm going back there Friday. Yeah, see, there's no way I would have got that out by hand. I mean, I had to really grab a hold of that. So I like the idea of it. I'm not a real big fan personally of how much slop is on that inside of the impact. And then I'm also, I don't know how big of a fan I am of these not being magnetic either. For the most part, whenever I'm using 1/4 and 5/16, which is the two that you got here, I think I would like to have magnetic over this. So that's kind of why personally I like this setup honestly better than this one, because I can at least have a magnet on this one and then also a magnet on the 5/16 as well. And this one is still, depending upon what bit you put in it, this one's going to be impact rated too. And I feel like there's still slop there, but I don't feel like it's as much. The only difference between, of course, you got the ratcheting. That's the biggest thing. I'm going to check the chat here in just a minute, and then I'll show it to you ratcheting as well. Overall, the length, though, let's see. So this is the longest stubby that I've got, and it's basically the same. And this one's got all that bit holding and all that kind of stuff in it. That's gotten a little tight, too. So I got multiple bits in this one where I get 4 in this one, and they're the combo ones. But still overall, pretty much the same size as that. The best stubby, in my opinion, is, as far as for a stubby, is this one right here, the Stubby Multi. It's like the old 11-in-1 style, where you got Phillips slotted. So same bits in this one as that one, but of course this one's not impact rated, also not ratcheting, but boy is that nice, you know, compared to that one, that new one. You know, I can sit there and do that all day. And also definitely, you know, quite a bit smaller than that one, and quite a bit smaller than that one. But again, you don't have the ratcheting on it, so if you really want a ratcheting one, there's not a lot of options. Klein's got an older one out there. I'm gonna check the chat real fast, and then I'll show you the ratcheting. So let's see. My question a while ago is, when you take a locking bit like in your M12, will it fit in the handle of the 11-in-1? Real fast, Wyatt, I'll just show you. I think I got, let's see. So here's the 11-in-1. Let me see what I've got. So you can take any kind of adapter. It just has to be a certain length. If you go back and watch my video on it, I've got it in there. Actually, right here. I already got one in there. So there's a Weehaw one right there. Locking bit adapter. So that's like one that you'll put in your impact. And as long as it's a certain length, it just can't be deeper to where it's going to bottom out in there. And it's got to be skinnier than the 1/2 inch. Then you can slide anything down inside of there. It doesn't have to be the stuff that comes on the Impact 11-in-1. I actually normally carry one of these handles with a locking bit holder, and then a Malco 1/4 5/16 magnetic one on this side, because again, I'd rather have magnets than to have this right here. So let's see. Gusty said I had to use it a while and wiggle it. Now it's all good. Same on all 4 I have. It's the black coating. So Gusty said the same thing. So maybe it's going to wear itself in. Again, I'm just showing you, I bought the thing and got it out of the package a few minutes ago. And I literally, like I said, first pull getting it out of that thing, I didn't think I was going to get it out. I thought I was doing something wrong. I was sitting there reading the back of the package, seeing if it had to be in the fixed position to pull it out or something like that. I was like, something's crazy with this. Let's see. Steve Jensen, late, but he made it. Abraham said, dang, it's really in there. Terry said, not that you should have to, but did you try some spray dry silicone or nut buster? No, not yet. I was wanting to show everybody what it looks like straight out of the package. What's up, TPG? Max said he just survived a rough meeting and driving home. Hope everyone's doing well. Plum McQuai's in here. TPG prefers magnets. And then he said, Wyatt said cool on the other. So let's see. So ratcheting wise, it's got a, let's see if it says the teeth on here somewhere. I don't think I saw it on here. If it claims whatever. Yeah, I don't see anything that says how many teeth ratchets, whatever it is. I'd say it's pretty much just like anything else. But this one is Connect S as well. So you can also get out your pass-through sockets and stuff like that if you've got it with you. Get out the right one. And then again, if you can get this out, this is Connect S right here. So again, ratcheting stubby. And the one thing that's nice about stubbies to me in Klein is it's a whole lot like, to me, you know, you put other stuff in it. It's not a ball grip, but it kind of works like a ball grip whenever you're using them. That's why I kind of like this stubby right here. It's kind of a Klein option for me to have a ball grip in a way. But again, Connect S. So here's the 7/16 pass through right here. Should go inside of here. We'll see how easy these come in and out. So snaps in. So again, you're only going to have however much pass through. It's really more of a hollow nut driver at this point. That came right out of there. So yeah, that's way better. So that's not bad, but it is Connect S, works with that. So let me go ahead and we'll get it on a Phillips 2. And we're going to go forward, which is pulling it back counterclockwise. I'll let y'all see if you can hear them clicks. I don't know if you can or not, but and see right there, it's already not catching at that point. This is why I don't like ratcheting screwdrivers right here. Because if I planned on that working, but this is a machine screw, it's not really, like if you were using on something that's tight, it probably would work better, but yeah, this one here is tighter, so it's always going to catch. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. And then to go in reverse, you're going to swap that back around. My thumbnail's pretty dirty from all this grease inside this, oil inside this thing. So once you get to kind of that loose right there, that ratchet's no longer, you know, kind of engaging unless you really whip it. So that kind of looseness, you're not going to really get any ratchet action. And then let's see, once you get into, I'm going forward now, still not getting anything. Now at that tightness, and it's got the fixed position in the middle, which is where I typically end up leaving all my ratcheting screwdrivers, you know, where you can do either one and it doesn't ratchet. So yeah, I mean, overall, I really liked the look of it whenever I saw it. I'm not a ratcheting screwdriver fan. I actually picked this up for my buddy. He loves ratcheting screwdrivers, and Arlo's has never had them, so I messaged him this morning and said, they've got them at this town that I'm in. Do you want one? I picked this one up for him, but I think I'm going back there Friday if this doesn't work itself in, which it does seem like to me. See, like right there. But I still just, I mean, to me it shouldn't be a, feel like you're going to have to break something every time you go to pull it out. So we'll see. I'll work on it maybe today. That's like right there. I mean, it's in there now, and I can't get it out without just, I mean, and you don't have a lot to hold on to. You know, if you have that problem on this one, if you had that, you got plenty to grab right here to yank that out, even though I just dropped a big piece of it. But whenever all you got's a little amount sticking out there, but it's just every time, it's all you can do to, and again, you got to kind of press it towards one side or something and then pull, and then it comes out. So again, it's too much work for me, in my opinion. We'll see if it works out, and maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Also, again, I prefer magnets, so I'd rather personally have this right here than have this right here. Try the 11-in-1 in it. Yeah, we can do that. Which this one's got a ball bearing deal. We'll see what it does though. So let's say, I don't know if it even go in there. We'll see. Yeah, see, that's going to stop on there. Let's see if I got my, let's see. Here's the ratcheting one. I think it's got kind of the same. Yeah, we'll try this one. So here's the part out of the 11-in-1 Impact 11-in-1 ratcheting screwdriver. I'm gonna stick this end in there, see if that goes. See, all that fits fine. That might come out a little bit too easy. And see, this actually, in all honesty, this right here comes out of my Impact 11-in-1 a little bit too easy sometimes. Like if it's doing all right now, but I can tell that this is probably an issue that they've got on this one. having that one right there, because every now and then I've went and put this in somewhere and it shook real hard and this has popped out. I've never had that on the ball bearing version, so any of them that have too much stuff coming out, M's got this on it. I've not had that problem. So maybe that was their fix, was instead of having the one line like what they've got on the Impact 11-in-1 ratcheting, they swapped over to 2. And maybe something's just not lined up exactly right down in there. Or it could be like Gusty said. He said it could be that finish that's on it and it's too thick somewhere. And it's just going to take some wearing it down. But I mean, it's pretty hard to get in and out in my opinion. But again, there it is. 1/4 inch, 5/16. Let's see, that's the wrong one. Let me go back to the one that actually came in. It's here. And then again, you click it down inside to get past that notch there. It's whenever you do that and get that click right there, it's a bear. I was sitting there having to do this. And in my opinion, that's ridiculous right there to have to do that. So that's my warning to you. That's why this one, in my opinion, is not good. Now the Monster Ultra Vice Guava, that's pretty good in my opinion. So out of the two things trying today for the first time, the 32561 HDRT is a no-go for how much effort it takes, but the Ultra Vice Guava is pretty nice. So let me get you swapped back around. We'll chat for a little while. Or if y'all got any questions, anybody got any questions, I guess, hang on a second. Let me check the chat, make sure any questions about the screwdriver while I've got this out here. Black coating is coming off too because it's too tight. I'm kind of like you about my tools looking nice and professional. Yeah, that already bugs me, the fact that it kind of looks like somebody's been chewing on it. $19.99, Brian Hall. I just saw your, how much is that? So $20 is what it is. So the price on it's not bad. I thought that I actually expected to be more expensive than that whenever it came out. But it's not too bad. I'm going to clean my nasty thumbnail out before I keep showing y'all a big bunch of that. Milo's isn't great about having all the Klein stuff. Scooper said he's been getting a lot of Japanese and Taiwanese tools lately. Let's see, Terry Burton, is that made in the USA, Taiwan, or China? USA and Taiwan usually don't have such poor fitment. This one is made in Taiwan there, Terry. I'd like to see a vapor deposition treatment or something. Let's see, PVD, how much on that? I was thinking about something like this as a stocking stuffer for my 10-year-old, but that taught me out of, yeah, your 10-year-old's going to have, I mean, I'm the strongest man I know, and I'm having a hard time with that, so I definitely wouldn't get it for a 10-year-old. And I was just joking about that. Let's see. No ratcheting. I don't want him getting frustrated. Yeah, I'm not a ratcheting screwdriver fan personally, but again, I tell everybody the same thing every time. I'm gonna go ahead and swap y'all around. I think most of the stuff I'll be able to. That way, I'm looking at you instead of. It's not that I don't like ratcheting screwdrivers and that I don't understand that they would be pretty useful in a lot of things, especially like if you're putting together stuff. It's like a ratchet, you know, a socket and a ratchet. That's much faster than sitting there turning a wrench. But I'm so used to using regular screwdrivers, like I've been using them my whole life without ratcheting, that even if I've got a ratcheting screwdriver, it never clicks with me, hey, you swap the switch and all that kind of stuff, just because that's not something I'm used to using. So let's see. Brian said, not for the trouble. Max said, I have a Klein nut driver that is like that. Impossible to get the drivers off the rail. Take that crap back. Can't stand fighting with the tool. Surprised you haven't thrown it as far as you can yet. Well, I bought it for a buddy. So, because like I said, I went to work in a town I don't normally work in today, and they've got a Lowe's, and that's all they got. So I stopped in there just to see if they had any of the new stuff, because mine still hasn't put those out. And they had those, and he's been wanting one because he likes stubby screwdrivers and he likes ratcheting screwdrivers. So I messaged him and said, do you want me to pick you this up? And then I'll go ahead and get one for you, and then we'll check it out, and I'll decide if I want one later or not. Just because I like stubby screwdrivers, and I can leave it in the fixed position if it was going to be really useful. But me personally, I just as soon stick with the either 8-in-1 or the 12-in-1 with the flip socket to have the magnets, and it's the same length, and you got more bits that you have in there. And like I said, overall, if I need a stubby and I need to get somewhere really small, this old stubby multi is probably the best one in my opinion. It's as small as it gets. I never owned the other. Klein's got an older ratcheting stubby screwdriver. It's got like a yellow ring on it. I never owned it. I don't know if it's any good or not. I probably should have turned my lights on over my head a minute ago. Terry said the only ratcheting screwdrivers that he likes are Vessel. I like theirs just because, and that's one thing that probably wouldn't make me mind this one, is I don't like ratcheting screwdrivers where it's a whole screwdriver, like for instance the other, let's see this one. So the Impact 11-in-1 ratcheting, I only bought it because I was wanting that Connect S to be able to fit it in there if I bought the sockets. But again, I just leave it in the fixed position. But I don't like anything where, and this one's really close, but again, I usually hold most of my screwdrivers like that. That's why I like the ball handle so much. And if y'all are watching, if you've watched my Watch Me Work today and you're watching me use a ball handle, that's how I always hold my screwdrivers a lot of times, just like this. So I don't like any kind of ratcheting screwdriver where I can't reach this. But again, it makes sense now that if you watch that video that Brian linked to me, but I had watched it before, the intention with this being reversed is whichever way I want to turn the screwdriver. So if I'm wanting to go in reverse like this, I'm wanting to take a screw out. If I take and hold on to this and keep turning that way and then let go, then that's got me in that ratcheting mode. So basically, as you're using a screwdriver, its intention is for you to come up and grab that, go the way you're going, let the click change, and then let go of it. And then that's how it's supposed to work. But again, I don't like it because if I can't reach it, this one's real close. I can't actually reach this one. And that's why I thought I would like this one, because if I can change it while I'm working it, that'd be one thing. But again, I just pulled right out of there that time, but I might not have had it in there all the way. I don't think I did. I only had it in that first click. Yeah, I'm not going to fight with that all the time. So again, I'll keep it and work on it maybe tomorrow and see if it loosens up. And then if not, I'm going to take it back to Lowe's and swap it for another one and see if it does it again. Scooper says he has Annex, Top, KTC, Tone, etc. And Plumbing says, thankfully, I'm a plumber and don't really touch Klein tools. And then Scooper said, electricians are just plumbers for wires. Don't quote me on that. The Klein nut drivers come off from the bottom only may be your issue. I don't know what you're saying on that. Emmanuel A1. These nut drivers, they come out of there. It's the getting this piece right here out. These come out pretty easy. These come in and out pretty easy. It's whenever you get that piece right there seated in there, it's something else. Again, you can see how much I've had to, just yank and yank and yank. And I kept looking down in there. I don't see anything. I got a flashlight out. I thought, well, maybe there's some kind of little burr or something down inside there. And I stuck my finger in there. I don't feel anything. I thought maybe that might be something along those lines. But I'm not kidding you. The first time I got it out of the package, I was like, something's wrong. Like I felt like I was going to break something, like I wasn't doing something right even to pull it out. But then I thought, well, if I've got to have it turned to a certain spot to even pull out the bits, I don't want it for that reason alone either. But, Scooper says, is it just me or is Klein for people with big hands? I don't know. It might be. My hands are pretty decent size, but I've always liked them. But it's more of a probably nostalgia, and that's the only screwdriver I use for a really long time. So like it's familiar to my hand. So even if it was small or big to my hand, it's basically the only screwdriver that was in my hand for a really long time. Anybody else tried the Ultra Vice Guavas? I just saw them at a gas station. I've never had, they may have been out for a while. I've never seen them before. Ted McDonald said he's got the PB Swiss ratcheting screwdriver. It's not that bad. Yeah, I would have probably, I bought one of those and I ended up giving it away because I knew I wouldn't use it, because I'm that way about things. Like, I'm not a big ratcheting screwdriver fan, but then I always think, well, maybe it's because I've not had the right one. I actually used to play guitar some. I never really got good at it, but I started out with like a Washburn or something like that. And then I was like, I couldn't hardly play it for nothing. But then in my mind, I'm like, well, maybe it's not me. Maybe it's the guitar, because I only paid $100 and something for guitar. So then I bought a Martin and a Gibson and all that kind of stuff. And it does make a difference. And so sometimes it's you, and then sometimes it is what you're using that's not very good. So I decided I was going to buy that PB Swiss and try it because I heard so many people talk about it. And it is a good one. I wish I'd have bought the one with the long shaft, though. I bought the one that was, I bought the short shaft one thinking I could put like a bit holder or something else in it. But it's not really meant to take those. You get too much flex because it's really just meant to take little bits. But I think if I'd have bought the longer shaft one, I wouldn't mind using that. I like the PB Swiss grips. They're pretty nice. Scooper said he got the Stawell torque screwdriver for $50. That's a pretty good deal. Yeah, I got that Vera one for like $29 or something on eBay one day. Mac Bergson, I'm with you on the ratcheting screwdriver. Bought the Milwaukee 27-in-1 last year during the holidays. It's my least favorite Milwaukee tool by a country mile. Let's see. Sucks that it's so tight, but I dig the look of it. Yeah, that's the way I was. Whenever I saw, actually, Gusty Oinker sent me some pictures of it. He found it at his Lowe's a little while back, and I thought, man, that stinks. I can't find that, because it looks really cool, like as far as the looks of it and all that kind of stuff. And then again, the one thing that would be beneficial, in my opinion, about buying this one, if it works well, is that Connect S. I think the Connect S is more important to me than the ratcheting and all that kind of stuff, because you've got that design. You know, a lot of these stubbies got a 1/2 inch deal right there, probably. I'm going to quit sticking that in there. But the fact that this has, you know, that you can use with your, you know, Connect S stuff. So you can put that extension in there, slide that in, and then take your sockets. 7/16. So again, you only have 1/4 and 5/16 on this, but if you've got this set right here, you know, you can even put that extension in there to get you almost like a regular screwdriver. Again, that makes this more like a ball grip screwdriver, in my opinion, for a Klein, instead of having the bigger handle like that. So to me, that's the thing about this one. The Connect S, to me, is the more valuable thing on this one than it is the actual ratcheting feature and the bits and all that kind of stuff, because, you know, all these other stubbies are just made to, this one's made to accept 1/4 inch, just drivers, but this one's still going to be the one that stays in my bag. It wouldn't be one of these. And then this one takes the, you know, 11-in-1 type design stuff, and that's not 1/2 inch. So you are getting a 1/2 inch nut driver with this one, and it's Connect S outside of the ratcheting deal. So, and again, maybe it's going to loosen up. Gusty said his loosened up, so maybe, but again, it's, I mean, it is, I can't tell you how tight it is. I mean, it is crazy. That's why I was going to make a review and do a video, and I'm like, I think it's going to be better for me to sit here and show y'all over and over again than me sitting there trying to make a video and do it. So that's why I just did it live, and I'm not going to have time to make a video for it anyway. So Owen said, look at the Maury definition of too tight. Morgan, you ever seen the insulated PB Swiss screwdrivers? I haven't seen insulated. I've only seen, actually, yeah, I think maybe, are they got blades, or they don't have like dedicated ones, I think. I think it's like a blade set. Maybe I have seen those. I'm building an electronic diagnostic bag, and I think I like those, but I don't see much of them. Yeah, I don't know anybody that's had them. I haven't seen very many videos for them either. I think it would cost more than what I paid for it to get it calibrated. Scooper's talking about something. Oh, the Stallwell torque screwdriver. I really like my Vera torque screwdriver, and then again, I bought the Capri one just because I was looking for one to do breakers. I've got it down here. My Vera stays in my truck. This Capri one right here is really not that bad for the price. Comes with like a T thing to put in the back of the handle and stuff too. Or you can get a ratchet and put on it. You got to be careful when you're torquing stuff to add all that stuff to it. But this one actually functions really well. But I would have rather had, I'd rather had one. My Vera I got for so cheap that I didn't want to pass on it. You know, it was like $29 or something like that. But it only goes up to 20-something torque pounds. So I used it for receptacles and switches. And then I had to buy one that went a little bit bigger for breakers. Been wanting to try the Guava. I haven't been able to find it yet. Mine was at a Casey's, I think is the gas station. I don't know if you have those by you, which we just now started getting Casey's in my area. They bought out all the Marathon gas stations. So now they've all changed over to Casey's. Like I said, it's got like I feel like the white ones to me taste like sweet tarts. I don't know if y'all ever ate sweet tarts as far as the candy. That's what the white ones taste like to me. More of a tarty flavor. This one's got that tart, but it also still has a little bit more sweet, I think, than what the white does. Appreciate that, vegans. The Connect S may make me buy that, dang, Brian Hall said. So I done talked you into it, even though it's so tight. Well, like I said, I would buy it for $20 just for this. And like, if this stays this tight, chuck it. And just put this in with your Connect S stuff. And then that would be like a stubby driver to use with your stuff in case you got to fit it in somewhere really tight. So, I mean, $20 ain't that bad really for if it works. And like I said, the Connect S stuff's going in and out of there. Super nice. Super nice. Like, no problem at all. So like here's 9/16. Well, I said that. Now it's not. That one's not wanting to go in there. I don't know what it is about that one. 7/16 was going in there. Yeah, that one's not even wanting to go in there at all. Let me get the 7/16 again. What'd I do with that? So for whatever reason, 9/16, I mean, doesn't want to go at all. Here's the extension. Slops right in there. 7/16. Slides right in there. So I don't know what it is about 9/16 on mine. Let me try this like in so here's the ratcheting screwdriver 9/16. That goes right in and out. So I don't know what it is about that. It will not go in there, no matter how much I want to try to force it. If I beat it in there, maybe it will. So I can see there's like that little, you know, that clip that fits inside of there. I can kind of see that in there. I bet I could maybe take something. Let me see if I got something in here. I can see where it might look like it's sticking out a little bit. Now, I don't know if it was before or not. And y'all wouldn't be able to see this even if I was showing you. But basically, there is that little, you know, the ring sits down inside there. It does look like I have maybe somewhere I thought I saw a little high spot. Well, maybe not. I don't feel it though. Yeah, that 9/16 will not go in there. Yeah. So I don't know what the deal is with that. Like I said, it goes in the other stuff fine. 9/16 in the ratcheting screwdriver, 7/16 in the ratcheting screwdriver, extension and the impact 11-in-1 ratcheting screwdriver, and then now again 9/16 right in there. We go to the stubby, 7/16 snaps right in, extension snaps right in, 9/16. Nope. I'm gonna go run and get my I'm gonna run and get my, this one's my 1/4 inch set. That's the extra one now. I'm gonna get my starter kit out of my truck real fast and try that 9/16 and see. Let me grab it real fast. So the other set that I'm pulling out of is the original 1/4 inch set right there. This one's the starter set, 9/16. And there's the 9/16 out of the original. That one goes. So it's something about that socket in my original set, but it goes in everything else. You know, it will go in. Here's the ratchet out of that set. Snaps right in. It went in the extension and went in everything else. So, but for whatever reason, this 9/16 will not go in this screwdriver, but this one out of the starter kit. Oh boy. Now we're in some trouble, I think. So I'm gonna put this one back over here. So that one did go in, but I don't know that I'm gonna get it out. Oh, finally came out. Let me see if I get a flashlight, see if y'all can see in there. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, so it's got that little ring. You can probably see it there halfway down. You know, I go around. Right there's like a, where it connects, like it's where it's one piece, I think. But I don't see anywhere where it's really sticking out. But it's like I said, it's, the other stuff fits in there fine. So, but for whatever reason, that 9/16 does go, or it did. Yeah, see, that one goes in there. But man, it does not want to come out. There's 1/2 inch. Nope. 1/2 inch. Doesn't want to go in there. Yep, finally went. It's just too hard in my opinion. Something's up. Hopefully it's just mine. Like I said, Gusty said his works pretty well. He had to work his. I'm gonna take this one back Friday and see if I can get a different one and see if it's the, hopefully it's just this one. But it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be the one that I brought home today. It shouldn't be, oh, well, I got a lemon. It does happen every now and then, but then it's like, well, how many packages am I going to have to go to and go to a store and open them and say, oh, this one's too tight, you know, can't get my stuff out of it. I'm not going to sit there and fight with something like that, you know, while I'm working. Not going to do that. If I've got a tool that's going to make me have to sit here and do this every time I go to get the bit out, it's going to get tossed somewhere during the middle of the job. Because like I said, you get it in right there. If you don't push that line in, it comes out pretty decent. But you get into that second line, which, like I said, that'd be fine if you can do that. But as soon as I go to screwing on something and put pressure, you know, it doesn't have a lot of play in it at that point, like this way. But as soon as I go and put pressure on something, it's going to snap down in there just like it did there. And then you're going to be back at, you know, this. Again, if you don't have very much to grab a hold of is the biggest problem. So you got to make sure, if you make this your EDC, if you want to buy that, make it your EDC, make sure you got a pair of Cobras as part of your EDC too. So swing and a miss from me, other than the Connect S. And then I thought that was great until I stuck some of the sockets in there. Like I said, some of them go in and out like easy, like that right there. Why can't they all do that? I've not had that issue with my other screwdrivers, as far as I know. But it's like, why does that piece fit in there like that? And then I get a 9/16 out. And this is that one that was in my starter kit that went in a minute ago. I can get that to go in eventually, but then it's a nightmare to get it out. And then this 9/16, whatever I did with that, out of the 1/4 inch set, I can't get it in there to save my life. It will not go. That one would not go in there if I wanted it to. Swing and a miss. So now y'all can't say I push Klein on everybody. I'm telling you not to buy this thing. Or if you're going to buy it, open it out in the parking lot and see if that comes in and out super easy, and take your stuff in with you. Take your Connect set with you, try it out in the parking lot, and keep going in and out until you get one that works for you. But like I said, you shouldn't have to do that. And I didn't open it till I got home today, and which I know you can take it back to any Lowe's you want to, but it's like, that's the only day I might work in that town. And if I wanted to go get another one, I'm not driving all the way to that town to go get another one. So shouldn't have, but there's plenty of people out there who might drive who knows how far to go to Lowe's to buy tools, and then they, you know, they don't really live close to it. So then you got to make a whole special trip to go do that. Utgarter, if you have a vernier caliper, you could check the inner and outer dimension versus same fitting screwdriver you already have. I got some, I think, somewhere. I've got some calipers, but like I said, you can go through sockets in one set of Connect and they fit, and then another that doesn't. It's a problem with multiple things, I think. Truthfully, the Harbor Freight Quinn is a decent torque screwdriver if you get it on deal. I feel like the obsession over torque wrenches is kind of silly, considering everything changes the torque readings from oxidation to temperature to lube. I still haven't noticed anybody using torque screw. I'm not even a electrician, and I don't never see anybody using torque screwdrivers. But for a lot of things, typically the only thing I ever see anybody torque is the main lugs on a panel. Ted says, hit that like button. Appreciate that, Ted. Live stream curse. As soon as you say something's easy, it becomes hard. Yeah, that 9/16. I'm like, oh yeah, these Connect sockets fit in there great. I'm glad I moved it on up. Like I said, as soon as I got it out, I was just like, I'm just gonna do this as a live, because there's multiple problems, and I'm not gonna sit here and go over it, try to make a video and show it, and that way y'all could just ask questions if you wanted to see more stuff. And like I said, I'll probably take it back Friday and get another one, and If it's drastically different for some reason, I'll let y'all know. But Ted said they need to update their quality control. And Brian said, well, maybe not. So I talked you out of it now because of Connect S. See, like I said, so for everybody that says, oh, you're just trying to sell Klein tools to people, just like I say about every tool, I could care less if y'all buy a single tool that I ever show you a review for. I bought them for myself. I'm just making a video so that you know about them, and also you can kind of see a little bit about them and decide if it's something you want to buy or not. Doesn't matter to me if anybody buys any of it or not. Put a drop of gun oil in there and rub with finger and then try again. I got some of that. Let me go get the strike cold over here. They sent me that a long time ago. It's supposed to be pretty good stuff. But it's still, to me, the 9/16 out of that set not going in there at all, like 100%, like it ain't going in there. Like unless I get a hammer out and hammer it down in there, and then I probably am not going to get it out. But that's just like as much oil that's on all these, which really there wasn't none on this, but these things were caked with them. Now it's going to be so oily, I probably won't even be able to grab a hold of it. Yeah, you put it on that second click, it is not coming out. I said, unless you can kind of get it, you got to push it one way, like up or down, and try to get that pressure like moved or something. I don't know. You can kind of see. Maybe you can. I don't know if you can see that little amount that's pulling out right there. But it's like it catches. So then you got to grab a hold of it and then kind of up or down, whichever way you want to go, and pull at the same time. Y'all gonna buy it? You know you're still gonna buy it because you think yours is not gonna be that way. Morgan, go swap that out for another one. Yeah, I'm going to. And then Ted said, just throw it. That's what I wanted to do. TPG, I had a brawn razor. I ended up hurling across my bathroom because the head kept loosening while I use it. And see, that's what I talk about all the time about tools. Whenever I buy them, I buy tools for a couple of reasons. One is I want one that's going to work. It has to do the job that it's going to do. If I got a tool that doesn't do it, then I don't want it. Another thing is I want it to be enjoyable while I'm using it. So that's why I might spend, an extra $50 on a pair of pliers, or 40, double the price of something else, if whenever I use it I don't have this thing going on. If somebody else had this same exact screwdriver and this one was $20 and there was another brand that had the same functionality, everything else, and it was $60, but I just went like this and did that, these things came in and out, the slop was different, all the kind of stuff like that, I would 10 times pay $60, $80 for one over $20. And of course somebody's going to say, well, you're just buying that because, but no, I want to enjoy using it. And anytime I'm going to get out a tool and I've got to sit here and do this, and whenever I finally get it to break loose, it slings over across the room on the floor, I don't want that. It's just a bad day. No reason to get that mad over doing stuff like working with your tools. And then you start getting mad at that, and then you start, oh, I'm just going to get done with this job, I just want to go home. And then you start cutting corners on the work that you're doing. It all spirals just because you got a crappy tool. So I'd 10 times, again, spend more money just for the enjoyment factor of using a tool. I want it to be enjoyable while I'm using it, not frustrating. Would you guys say you're inclined to purchase these tools? I see what you did there, Scooper. That's a Matt HMM thing right there. It's one of them dad jokes. What's up, Contreras? If only Klein was sending you review units. He said Ted said they probably will be now. Yeah, they sent me some stuff there for a little while, then I haven't heard anything from them for a long time. Matter of fact, I bought that 1/4 inch. They sent me the SAE flip socket connect set that I got that only has like 3 or 4 sizes in it. I bought the metric SAE one myself, but they sent me that. I want to say they sent me something else, but I couldn't remember what that was. Well, they sent me the mod box stuff over there. I need this ratcheting stubby bad for tight spaces, but I can't find it online though. It's the same as all the other stuff I've made videos for that's Klein. It's the only way you're getting it is if the store, I don't know when the release date is. I actually thought somebody told me which actually those things are out now, like the starter kit and all that stuff. You can get it online and buy it and pick it up at the store. But the blackout screwdrivers, they're still like, I've got the barcode and I scan it. It'll let me put a link in the description. I'll put a link for that whenever I get done here and go back in and edit it. But you still can't buy it. It'll take you to it. You can look at it, but it'll say like currently unavailable or something like that at the bottom of it. So I don't know when they're going to release it, but they'll put them out in the stores eventually. Like I said, this store that I went to today had them out. My local store doesn't have them out yet. Did you put a barcode up at the link? Goat Roper said it looks really cool. Thanks for the videos. I appreciate the content. It really helps me not waste money on what to buy and what not to buy. I'll put one. I didn't put it in there yet, but after I get this video done, like it won't let me edit the description until, so I'll put one. I'll put a link. I'll scan the barcode and then copy that link and put it in there because you can't find it searching for it. Like I searched for it, like all the stuff that I've had, the connect sets and all that stuff. If you just go in there and search the model number and all that, it doesn't pull up. But if you scan the barcode, like while I'm at the store, if I scanned it in the Lowe's app, it pulls it up, but it does say it's unavailable like to buy, but it'll tell you how many your store has in stock. Now, whether your employees at that store's put them out yet or, you know, whatever, that might not be the case. They might be up top or whatever, but let's see. Owen says it's a nah for me, and Clinton said nope. Yeah, I didn't plan on it, and now I know I won't. Plumbing McQuay said. TPG said not unless your replacement unit works, and then I'll think about it. Abraham says you make me feel not guilty for buying screwdrivers that I use once a month. Yeah, I was at the Lowe's today, and they had a set of Tough Built screwdrivers, and it was like it was quite a few screwdrivers. I think it maybe was like probably at least like a 9-piece set or something like that for $9. And it was all I could do not to buy them, but I was like, I'm not going to use them, so there's no point in buying them. But they had them there. If you were on a job, your day would be ruined fighting with that. Yeah, 100%. I would have thrown it, like what you said, thrown it across the room. It would have went in the trash can. Like I'd been like, I'm not doing this. And like sometimes with a tool like that, and I probably will spend a little bit of time on it, but I'm gonna take it back no matter what because I'm curious to see what another one out of the package is. But you know, sometimes if I can figure out what's going wrong with it and I can make it better myself, I'll fix it. But I don't know. Like I said, the fact that it works with a 9/16 in one set and then not in the other, so now I don't know if it's that stubby's too tight for sure. But then is it maybe the tolerance on this one is so tight that it's at the bottom of whatever the tolerance is for the Connect S and the screwdriver, and then the 9/16 in that set is at the very top of the tolerance, and it just doesn't want to mesh. You know, I'm sure they got whatever it is in there, and that must be what it is. But Scooper said I stole it from Owen. He said declined. Seems about as useful as caulking in the middle of a pool. Well, you're using the wrong caulk. You got to get that stuff where I've watched the As Seen on TV videos where they do it just live and there's a goop stuff on there. Finally caught a live show, Chris L. said. They're trying to push too much new stuff. It leads to this. Yeah, man, they have got, this store right here had, they've got 1/2-inch sockets, deep sockets. They're not flip sockets, so it's a lot like the looks like the flip sockets, you know, in the Connect sets, but they're black with the white markings and the color, which they look really nice. They're really nice sockets. It reminds me a lot of the Milwaukee's, which is why I bought these. But you know, these got a lifetime warranty, and you can just 1-800 sawdust or whatever it is. But I bought these just because I really like this. And the Klein ones look super nice, but they were like 149 bucks for which is a 1/2 inch drive set, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. I didn't pay much attention to it, but it wasn't a ton of sockets. It might have been, it was metric and SAE, but you're only getting like maybe 6 or 7 of each one. And you can buy like these sets of Milwaukee right now. I think it might even be on sale right now for 99 bucks. And I'd buy the Milwaukee ones because I don't think that the Klein ones work. I think they just work with a 1/2 inch drive deal. I don't think it's like they work with any of the Connect stuff or anything like that. So it's really just a set of sockets. I'd 10 times buy the Milwaukee ones, or even again go to Harbor Freight at that point and get you a lifetime warranty set, whatever you want to do. But I mean, $149 for, like I said, it wasn't very many sockets. It fits in them Connect boxes. And then they also had, which Brian sent me some pictures of those. They did have them at this store. He sent me, which it was one of the ones I made a picture for at the very beginning, one of the videos I made, the starter set or whatever, that they had the hex, and they had SAE. They're like a little stubby, like hex keys that fit onto, I'm assuming the 3/8 drive, and probably a 3/8 drive, I would assume. But they have a metric set, SAE set, and then they also have a torque set of those. This store had all 3 of them. I had only seen the SAE ones before. And then they also got a set that has the Impact 11-in-1, and then some of the longer flip sockets and the adapter that works with those. So they got like all sorts of sets coming out, a bunch of different ones. I also saw a ratcheting T-handle set, not at this store, but I saw it online. Now it did look pretty nice. Like, it's a T-handle, and it takes hex extended long reach like hex keys, but it's got a, like, the handle on the T-handle actually ratchets too. So that might not be too bad. Now I would use something like that in a ratchet way, because you know, you go to putting together furniture and stuff like that. That'd be pretty handy. But I think it was $50 for that one. Appreciate that, Ted. So, but what all I saw in that one, it might not be that bad for 50 bucks. DeWalt used to have like a T-handle set in the DeWalt cases, the tough like system cases, that was pretty nice. But this Klein one, again, it looked pretty good, but it was $50. Scooper said Klein fidget spinners. That's what those hex keys look like. I'm not an electrician. That's why I use a torque screwdriver. Abraham said this is pretty unacceptable as far as I'm concerned. Nothing short of an apology from Mr. Klein himself will suffice for the lack of quality control. Yeah, like I said, Gusty, I don't know if he's still in here or not. He bought one because he sent me pictures of it, and that was what was making me want to get it. And I kept looking everywhere trying to find it, couldn't find it. And I knew I was going to that town today, and they had a Lowe's. I'm like, I'm going to stop in there and see if this one's got it. And sure enough, they did. But like I said, he said his was tight, and it finally worked itself loose. So maybe this one would as well. But I'm going to try still swapping it just to see if the next one out of the package is the same exact way. Brian Hall sent some stamp money. Warith Abdul Majid, $5. Appreciate that, buddy. Saved me some money, he said. Owen said you can get Koken sockets for prices like that. Yeah, Koken was one of the ones, the Glen Monroe guy, I think, sent them to me. Or no, it was somebody else sent them to me. Glen Monroe sent me magnetic sockets. Somebody else sent me said Koken. Oh, it was Ron, the working man, something or other. He's got a channel too. Koken's got some sockets that have like almost ball bearings in them, that whenever you put a bolt in and out, it kind of grabs a hold of, like, it keeps it in there until you pull off of it. And those would work phenomenal for the 1/2 inch and the 5/8, like what I was showing, using to be able to put it on your flex ratchets and all that stuff, and the, you know, how to answering those Klein Connect questions. but they only make them in 6-point. I couldn't find any in 12-point. So, and I think they were only in metric as well. But if you could find some sockets that had that, which I wouldn't mind having a set of those sockets just in general, but if you could do that and then put these pass-through sockets and stuff in them, then you could use them on your flex head ratchets, offset ratchets, all those kinds of things. And then again, not that, to me, this Klein, I was saying that to somebody on here on a question the other day. I'm not, like, the Klein pass-through socket is not my favorite socket set. But in my truck, I've got Milwaukee sockets here. I've got also some Craftsman sockets. I've got multiple wrenches. I got all kinds of stuff at my house. But in my truck, I'm trying to keep the smallest amount. So, like, if I can have a pass-through set that I can also put on flex head ratchets, I can also put on other ratchets, I can put my screwdrivers, I can put in those things, and I can keep it in one little small package. And then I don't have to carry a regular socket set, a pass-through set, and all that stuff in my truck. That's the purpose to me behind that. Like, if I'm just going to pick one socket set to have, and I'm only going to have one, I'm not buying the Klein pass-through, sockets. That's not my number one socket set. But it's a good thing to have in your truck, especially now that they got the metric and SAE in the 3/8, because if I run into a situation where I need pass-through, I can get it done with that set. If I run into a situation where I don't need pass-through, I can get it done with that set. If I run into a situation where I want to use a different ratchet or a screwdriver or whatever else, I can get it done with that set, versus I can throw a Milwaukee set in my truck, but then if I only have, whatever ratchets and I need a pass-through, not going to work for me. I might have to carry a pass-through set and a regular socket set. So that's the purpose behind the Klein one for me. It's like, but again, it's not my preferred socket set. It's not like it's the premium one of all of them that I've got that I want to use, but it's just one of those where if I can get more things done with it, that takes up less space in my truck. That's the way I'm going to go with it. What's up, Woodchuck? Koken is also known as Yamashita Industrial Research. Ted said Koken's nice. Amy says, I hear Harbor Freight's coming out with a Klein knockoff flip socket set. Yeah, they would. I would say would be probably pretty likely, because Malco's got it in the mix, Milwaukee's got it in the mix. I think Klein's sold quite a few of them, so I'm sure it's something that they probably would come out with. The yen has dropped. A lot of Japanese tool deals on Amazon Japan. If it's popular, Harbor Freight will make ones. What Owen said, yeah, that's what I was just saying there. Brian Hall sent some stamp money. Stickers, I do have 3-inch ones. They were pretty big whenever I got them. They were bigger than I expected. I have ordered some 2-inch ones too, so that's why I haven't come out and said, hey, if you want stickers, do this or not. I'm going to go ahead and wait till I get them, and that way you can tell me if you want a big one, or because I think the 2-inch ones are going to work more for a lot of people. The 3-inch ones ended up being a lot bigger than I expected. You'd think I'd know how to measure and say this is probably what this is going to be, but for whatever reason, it just didn't seem as big as what they were going to be whenever I got them. So some of you might want a big one, and then some of you might want a small one, one of both, whatever. But I'm going to wait till I get those. It took a little while to get them the last time. Malco made it first, Owen said. Yeah, Malco made the flip as far as individual, like 5/16, and then Klein came out with the multiples on one stack type thing. And then Malco's got one of those now, which I don't care for it, but I prefer the Malcos. Like, if I know I'm only going to run a quarter and 5/16, and I'm actually going to use and never use a bit, those kinds of things, I like the Malcos better than the Kleins as far as the original ones. But I run the Klein. I started running the Klein flip socket, I think it's the 6-inch shaft or the 4-inch one maybe, in my Vessel electric screwdriver. It's in that Watch Me. Actually, I said something about it in that Watch Me Work video. I've been running it like that for a while, and it's worked out really good for me because I put bits in it, and then I swap over quarter and 5/16. And I think a lot of people have had problems with the Klein flip socket, and maybe you use them in an impact driver more than what I do. I don't really, if I'm getting out of impact, I'm normally using quarter or 5/16. I throw Malcos in, not on purpose. That's just what I do. But I haven't had like the magnets break on mine. I haven't had any problems with my Klein ones, but I typically use it as basically a magnetic nut driver set in my tool bag for my screwdrivers. I don't use them a lot of times in my impact driver. They're supposed to be able to, but I just don't use mine that way that much. Scooper said, I don't really care who made it first per se, except a matter of historical interest or some kind of tool politics. It's fun to argue about. Yeah. Malco was the first one on the scene with it. Like I said, I kept saying for years, like whenever I bought the 1/4 inch and 5/16, I've got a million of those. I probably got like 15, 20 of them laying around here. And then they came out with 3/8, 5/16. And then let's see, they've got another one now because I made a video for it. It was a 7/16 and a something else. I don't remember what it was, but it was a little bit different looking. But I kept saying for years, I'm like, I wish they'd come out with more sizes of these, like into where you could have a whole set of them type thing. And then Klein came out with the one where it's all on one stack, and that actually works out better, in my opinion, for a tool bag, just because it's one slot, and then you just take off whichever one you want to use and use it that way. I feel like that those works the best as far as for that. But again, I still prefer the Malcos over all of them, the original ones. I just don't like the Malco Klein copy of the flip socket. I don't care for what they did there. Yeah, when I opened the Fluke tester, I was shocked at how big you had the stickers for sure. But we talked on that. Yeah, I saw it on your pack out box. It took up like a half a side. For whatever reason, I don't know why. I thought 3 inches wasn't going to be that big. I mean, it's almost like a 2x4 wide. But for whatever reason, because you got options to pick all sorts of sizes, and they're actually cheaper to get the small ones. You can get more of them. But I thought, I don't know. I think 2 inches is probably going to be too small. I'm going to go ahead and get 3. And then whenever I got them in, I'm like, man, these things are big. Ted said, I just found a Malco flip socket somebody lost the other day. I mainly use the 1/4 5/16 and totally agree the flip socket's good for a nut driver, but Impact Malco rules. Fluke, I have an 88 meter and a 52 type KJ thermometer. And Brian Hall says they're actually 1/4, 3/8, and a 1/2 inch drive on the sets, on those hex sets. So it's got a multiple every size. I guess it goes up in sizes the bigger they get. It takes different, but I guess they take regular 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and 3/8 driver. I wonder if the 1/4 inch takes the spline stuff, like how some of the 1/4 inch stuff takes on the connect sets. I wonder if it takes the flip socket spline instead of a regular 1/4 inch. Fluke is eternal. Owen said, it's all I've ever ran. I can't talk myself into trying anything else. I've had really good luck out of all of my Flukes, so that's typically what I'm running too. You know, honestly, all I use at work are my Klein 7-in-1 and the 11-in-1. If I carry all the screwdrivers and pass-through screwdrivers along with everything else on my belt, it's up to 30 pounds. Yeah, all these things right here, all the connect sets are truck tools to me. They're not something I'm going to pack around with me all the time. They're just, I got a drawer full of bits and bobs is what they call them overseas or whatever. And, you know, in my bag, I don't carry any of that stuff. I try to make my bag just be, this is the stuff that I know I'm going to need. Like, typically, this is what I'm going to need. And if I got to make a trip to a truck to get a pass-through socket that I didn't know that I was going to need, you know, so be it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to pack it with me all the time. But I like to have all that stuff in my truck so that if I run into something, I've got it and I don't have to go buy something, you know, at a store, because where I live and where I work, it's a decent haul back to my house. So I'm not going to drive home and stop and get a tool and then drive back to a customer's house. I'd probably go to a store and buy it again, but instead of doing that. But Abraham says, depending on the building, on what building I'm working in, 10 floors, 6 floors, walk 8 to 12 miles a day, 8 to 12 hours a day. Scooper says, I've seen this proto spline drive system for big impacts. Field Piece makes really nice meters now. No issues with the new stuff. I've wanted to try one. I watch a lot of HVAC videos as far as the people like Colin McCrouse, and then what's his name? HVAC guy, and then Adrian. I always forget what the name of his thing is, but it's HVRC or HVR. What's the Adrian? What's his channel name? I can't think of what it is off the top of my head. I know it. Plumbing. Let's see. Plumbing requires. What Fluke tester do you recommend again for that diagnostic bag? The 324 is my main meter, I would call it, because it's got capacitance on it. But again, you probably will never check capacitance. but that's a cheap, so you can get one cheaper that doesn't check capacitance. I don't know if you ever would. I don't know if you ever deal with capacitance on motors or HVAC or any capacitors or anything like that. But that's the 324 is the one that I've used for a long time, and it's always done everything I needed it to from a maintenance standpoint. And then I bought the T6 1000 Pro just for the field sense stuff, and I really like that. So that's the meter I always take in when I'm doing electrical work now. But I still carry my 324 in my SBLD because on a service call, like if I'm going to look at something that needs certain things, like especially if I'm going to look at somebody's air conditioner unit, I'm going to need capacitance, and it doesn't have it. If the T6 1000 Pro had capacitance on it, it'd be all I needed. Pack out or buy more, save more online only at HD. Just purchased $426 worth for only $294, making my second 400 plus purchase tomorrow to complete my setup. That's nice. Man, did y'all see the deals? Gusty Oinker got me in some Facebook Milwaukee tool deal group or something or other, and I'm talking about killing it the other day, which Home Depot's canceling some of the orders, but some people's been getting it. But they had like a 12 pack or a 10 pack of the Forge 12 amp hour batteries. People were getting it for $200 because it was a price glitch. So they were getting 10 batteries for basically the price of one. It's like 2,000 something dollars worth of batteries, all sorts of tools for like $15 and stuff like that. People were just ordering them like crazy, and some people got them, some people didn't. Some people they canceled them, some people they took pictures and said I got mine in the mail today, or I picked them up at the store. But man, it was crazy, like some of the stuff they were getting. Plumbing McQuarrie says, keep in mind I do HVAC work too. Yeah, the 324 has always done everything that I need it to in electrical and HVAC both. Like for me, now there's certain things in HVAC that you got to buy a specific HVAC meter for, but it's probably, I don't know if it's anything that you deal with or not. I don't know, but you get into that kind of stuff, I think Field Piece is really about the only one that has some of that stuff. SC640, Owen says is good. So that's probably a Field Piece one. Or the SC680 if you want Bluetooth. I think the Bluetooth, I thought about that because a company actually emailed me, want me to, I think it was ANENG, or I don't know how you say it, wanting to send me a meter. And normally on all those like Kyle Weeks and all that with meters, I tell them I don't want them because I'm not gonna use them, and I don't even want to make it. I don't want to spend the time to make a video for one. But not that they're bad meters. I'm just saying I'm not ever going to take that one and say I'm going to use this one instead of my flute meter because I already own a flute meter. But if that's what you've got, it's not a bad meter. But they had a Bluetooth one, and I said, well, I'm actually interested in this one because I don't have any kind of Bluetooth meter. I'd like to have one because then, like, the Circuit Screamer or the Fluke thing that I sent Plumbing McQuarrie's, it's got the audible sound or anything like that. You could put your meter in the receptacle and then pull up Bluetooth on your phone and go flip breakers and stuff, and you should be able to see. Well, I know for sure I killed that receptacle because I got 0 volts now. Like, you'd actually be able to see that. And then there's also times where maybe you're working on a receptacle but it's tripping the breaker before you can get back and read your meter or whatever else, and you can maybe get some kind of at least reading off of it. Like when you flip a breaker on, you might be able to see all the amperage real high, or some kind of crazy voltage or whatever it is while you're there at the breaker panel looking on your phone. I think the Bluetooth would actually be a pretty useful feature. I'm not saying it's something you're going to use all the time, but on a meter I could see it being pretty nice for certain things. Let's see. Scooper's talking about something that I missed. Splines are better than a squared drive. I've seen a proto spline drive system for big impacts. Klein has sold quite a few flip socket sets to you. Yeah, I've got a bunch of them. I've got quite a few because it's the same thing with the Connect stuff. They kept coming out with different screwdrivers that you get another one with, and then it's like you end up with 15 of them. But SC680 with data log with the app, way cheaper option. Woodchuck heard about the Milwaukee stuff. Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. Like, I've never seen anything like that. It happened like at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what time zone it was, 3 o'clock in the morning, but everybody that was on there was saying it was at 3 o'clock in the morning. Brian Hall's got my 3-inch sticker on his truck right now. He says, I don't know how well they'll hold up outside. You can let me know over time because I didn't. I just bought them on Amazon from a. It was just a stick your picture in there type thing, but it said it was supposed to be whatever, and it was they weren't priced crazy. So I thought I'm gonna try them and see what they are. But you can let me know how it holds up outside on your truck. A lot of use also got banned from Home Depot online. DT6. A lot of people. What's your favorite tape measure? Chris L asked. I go back and forth. I really like that Tough Belt 16-foot one, but you can't find them anymore. I got it on clearance one day, and I've been using the fire out of that. But I like Irwin. I did get out the Milwaukee new stud. I didn't buy it, but they do have it out at my Home Depot. Matt HMM actually sent me the pictures of the ones I posted a video for. But I saw Bless You. I'm on a delay. I know Brian probably just heard me sneeze. But I like Irwins. They're pretty nice. And then that's pretty much what I've been using here lately. Of course, Stanley Fat Max are good, but a lot of times those don't. I like the double-sided tape. Now that I've had those, I like those. And then I also like having the finger, being able to stop it. I don't know what all I've got in here. I've got a million of them in here. Let's see what I got. I don't have any of my ones I'm using in here, but basically, in a nutshell, I like having something along this line right here on my tapes too. I like that a lot. So, but I don't go crazy. I use all of them are good to me as far as how I use them, and then they are a disposable tool to me. I use them pretty harshly, and then once they bend at the end or do whatever, I swap them out because for whatever reason, it's the one tool that I don't treat real nice, and it's probably the one tool that you need to. But I always pay attention to when mine needs to be replaced, though. Like, I mean, you don't want to keep using one whenever it's bent on the end or doing whatever. You're going to get some bad measurements. Ted says he's still waiting on his $79 Milwaukee track saw and $51 fuel high torques. Yeah, that's some of the prices that some of them guys was getting. It's crazy. I can't remember. Let's see. Central Time. Elliot Parrish said, yeah, Elliot might have been one of the people that was telling me, you got some kind of a deal, but I don't think this was that same thing that was going on with that one. What was it you ended up getting, Elliot? You got something you sent me in an email too. Owen says all tape measures are disposable over time. Mine typically last maybe a month, but I use mine a lot, like all day, a lot of times. But whenever I'm doing drywall or framing or whatever, and I'm just whipping it out to the end of the board, and on my miter saw or whatever else, I don't spend time babying my tape measure, so they don't last very long for me. Ted said he got canceled and banned. Do you have the Klein tape measure? And if so, what do you think about it? That's one of the few I haven't picked up yet. There's been a couple of people tell me that they really like it, but I haven't bought one. I've never really caught them on sale. Usually that's what I end up doing. I buy all my tape measures. Like, I'll go in. I bought the Irwins because they were on sale one time. I've got a billion of the DeWalt ones where they used to sell in 2-packs. Milwaukee right now, they've got the 25-foot magnetics in the 2-pack online for $19.99 or something like that. That's not a bad price. I don't love the Milwaukee tape measures, but I don't hate them. They just seem like they tear up faster. They're good. They just don't seem like they even last me the whole month. Sometimes I got to replace them more often, it seems like. Fast Cat makes an auto lock version of their lefty righty 16-footer, some way says. Man, Home Depot banned you from ordering online, Ted. I'd be in bad shape if my Home Depot did that, because I can't even get half my stuff unless I order it online. Like, I can't just go pick it up in the store. So that makes me think next time they have some kind of deal, even if I'm awake, I don't need to do it. Elliot said, I got up at 2:30 to 3 to go to work at UPS. It really paid off Tuesday. Had my tape for years, but I baby my tools. East Durham SL said, yeah, I baby a lot of my tools, but a tape measure is not one of them. But I mean, I don't purposely mistreat it. I'm just saying I don't make sure, like, whenever I'm taking it to the end of my board, I'm like, oh, I better go real slow with this and hook it on the end. I mean, I just get in work mode at that point. I'm not purposely doing it. It's just whenever I'm in work mode like that, I just start slinging it for whatever reason. I don't know why I do it with a tape measure. I don't do it really with a lot of my other tools. So I went to the let's see, somebody, oh, it was comment on my other videos. I went to the project job today. They ended up, the guys there, let's see, John said the new stud is pretty cool, and Elliot said he got the M18 half-inch torque impact and an 8.0 for 8.0 forge for $48. Yeah, that's the kind of deals they were getting. It was crazy. Like, whenever I started seeing it, some guys were getting the Milwaukee, like, plumbing tools, like the Pro presses and all that kind of stuff, for like dirt cheap. And those are a couple $1,000 tools. Lowe's is running mod box deals through February 4th, Brian Hall said. But I went to the project house today. That's where I was in that other town that had that Lowe's. And I went to go, but they found somebody, the people that were doing all the rest of it, they said they'd go ahead and lay the floor too. So they're laying the floor. But I went there today and put in the lights and got up in the attic and finished running all my wiring to the lights and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't film any of it because they were all, I mean, there was like 10 people in there working today. And I don't ever like filming whenever it's other people around me and all that stuff. I just don't feel like, they're not signing up for that. So I didn't want to, even though I could probably ask a lot of people a lot of times and they'd say they wouldn't care, but I just don't feel comfortable doing it. But hopefully I'm going to go back there Friday and finish doing some stuff. And if they're done and cleaned up, I'm going to do a update video Friday. But even if I can't, I'm going to go once they're all said and done and walk around it and film it. Cause again, I know the people who own it really well, so they won't care if I do that. But I planned on going there. I got all my filming stuff ready, but whenever I got there was like a bunch of people working. I wasn't expecting that. So let's see, some people said something there. Ted said it was worth it to get banned. And Elliot said, I'm expecting to get rebuilt. I heard that. I was reading some of the comments on there. Some people got it and some people didn't. And then he said he got the Pro Pest for $248 from the New York glitch. And then there was some people that were saying that Home Depot had got in there, even the stuff that was in the mail coming to their house, they had got in there and changed the address and were having them turn it around and bring it back to Home Depot. And then they were also billing people for the regular price unless you canceled it and wanted to return it or whatever. Like, they were making you pay the difference. So I don't know. You have to see how it all pans out for everybody, I guess. It seemed like the most that the people that were saying that they were getting rejected the most were the people who were doing those like 10 packs of batteries. Woodchuck said, Ted, start a new email and you can order again online to HD. Only thing that works now is checking out as a guest, and I have to do ship to the store, Ted said. Yeah, I order a lot of stuff on Home Depot. Like I said, I'd be in bad shape if I couldn't order online, because even not just, I almost have to order all my Home Depot tools. In fact, I just got one in the mail today. But I have to, even a lot of times my supplies, like certain ones, I've got to ship them, like specific ones, which a lot of times if I can find it on Amazon or whatever, if it's some kind of weird thing that I've got to ship in, I just do it Amazon just because it's easier. But yeah, I order all kinds of stuff because my Home Depot is not like, a lot of other people's. It doesn't have as much stuff. Mine's more of a builder's Home Depot, I guess you would say, where, drywall studs and, decking materials and fasteners. And they do have quite a bit of the outdoor equipment stuff, but whenever it comes to tools and stuff like that, I mean, they've got the basics, and usually then they don't even have very many of them. I have a friend who makes a new email address every day to eat at Cane's for free. Working the system. There's always a workaround, Ted McDonald said. Yeah, I've always thought about that over the course of time. What if I became homeless, you know, as I eat at places or do whatever? But I swear, I think that you could go into any hotel in the mornings and eat breakfast for free, breakfast for free. I say breakfast weird, but you can go there, and then at lunchtime you can go over to Fazoli's and sit down. Tell them you want some more breadsticks. I've thought about that whenever I'm in places and I see them doing stuff. I'm like, oh, now I know if I'm homeless, this is where I'm gonna come. The error was on their end, but it's in the terms and service clause that they have that they can cancel or adjust charges. Yeah, that'd be a big shocker. You think you got $2,000 something worth of batteries for $200, and then you get them and you open them, and then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go ahead and charge you the $2,000 for those batteries." I've got some decent deals at Home Depot on the clearance section and stuff, but I've never really got any of that kind of stuff. Like I've hacked the tools the normal way with the free battery and all that kind of stuff, but I've never really got anything like that. I would almost, whenever I saw it, I would think that's too good to be true. Almost ain't gonna happen. Elliot said, "By the way, I got my Noster clip. Thank you. Glad you got it." Like I said, I think almost everybody. I haven't went in there and punched in the tracking numbers because it takes forever. I've got tracking numbers for all of them in case somebody doesn't get one. But Rob Holland's probably the only one where it's probably going to take a while to get there because he lives overseas. But everybody else was in the U.S. So I'm going to do the giveaway on Saturday morning. I still have to film the guest of trade. I'm hoping I've got time to do that tomorrow evening for Saturday. It's going to be Gusty Oinker. I don't think he's in here anymore, but he's going to be Saturday. I'm going to look at his pictures. I might even do 2 parts on his and tell him not to answer anybody in the first one because he's got 4 bags, but I can't remember if he's got a lot of pictures for 4 bags or if it's just a few pictures and 4 bags. I'm going to look at that. Because if I do all 4 of them, it's a lot of pictures. It might be a really long video, so we might do part 1, part 2, and I'll just tell him don't answer what you are in the first part. But I'm going to look at him and see. Hopefully I got time to film that tomorrow. But I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Again, I got on here just to show y'all the new ratcheting screwdriver because I'm not going to have time to film a video for it if I wanted to, and I was having such a problem with it whenever I got out of the package. I'm like, I'd rather just sit here and just do this live and let people actually see it. And I'm glad that I started trying out the Connect S stuff to be able to see that as well. Abraham said, shout out to Miss Maintenance for shipping out the packages to the winners. Yeah, I think it took her. She was at the post office for like an hour and a half. Ted said he had to do something because of a lifetime ban on something. Facebook. So you're banned from everything. Owen said, thanks for showing us, much appreciated. Yeah, like I said, I'm glad that I actually did it that way because I don't know that I would have went in great detail on a review of getting out the Connect sets and trying every size and seeing how they worked and all that kind of stuff. So worked out pretty good, I think. Probably won't get as many views on the live like that, but I don't really care. Like I said, it's more about letting you guys see the tool and see if it's something you want to get or not. But I do like this. This one ended up being pretty good, in my opinion. So Contreras 21, the light's awesome. He said, glad you liked it. Thanks for showing us the Klein fail. Ted McDonald said. So I'll see y'all Saturday for sure on the live, if not before then. But hope y'all have a good rest of your week and a blessed rest of your day. But I'll see y'all on the next one.